Hello everybody, how are we all doing? Welcome back to That's Football. Oof. I don't know whether this can top that, but it's Spain against Portugal. Anthony Taylor's the referee, so probably not. How are we all feeling after last night? I feel great. Old age has finally got to him. I don't start these things until close to kick-off. I can't actually be arsed with the whole go live half an hour before anymore. Even 10 minutes. I just think, let's get into the game, let's talk about it, and let's get on with it. That's sort of the way of doing it now. But no, I got up at 1 o'clock. I didn't even go to bed at the right time. You know, the match finished at, was it 4 o'clock? I was watching Rooney and Richards and Joe Hart talking for about 20 minutes. I was just buzzing. I was just absolutely buzzing. So yeah, I got into bed at about 4:45. And then, it's always crap sleep, isn't it? But I didn't get up till 1, so I feel quite fresh now. I've got to do the USA game anyway, so yeah. Just an incredible game of football, really. You know, I've been watching football for, most of my life. And as I said, I remember being about 6 years old in 1986 when England got knocked out in the Azteca by the hand of God. And I remember like my family watching it in the living room, like, uncles and grandparents and parents and everybody, and they're absolutely gutted. But I don't really remember that game because I was too young. But it's incredible to be there watching 40 years later with all you good people. And, the atmosphere was incredible. It had everything: penalties, red cards, drama, and definitely the most difficult game England have had to play in a World Cup before, because of the environment. It was tough. So yeah, very, 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 very excited by what's to come next, and very appreciative of the performance. There was so much about that game that I thought that it was inevitable that Mexico would get another penalty or score, and thankfully they didn't, because I think if they had, it would have been very, very, very difficult. Very, very difficult for England. But anyway, one thing we are sponsored by is Bowl Sports, like we were for the England game. And my bet builder last night was legendary. I mean, I had both teams to score, Harry Kane to score at any time, Jimenez to have over 2.5 shots, over 2.5 goals, and something else. And it came in big time. So I'm on a bit of a roll here. We're up and running, but my bet builder tonight with Ball Sports is actually 40-1. So this one is tough. I go big or go home. I've got a bet boost of 50% on it, so you can get that through Ball Sports. So the odds are boosted by 50%. And a bet builder is where you've got loads of different things in under one bet. They all have to happen though. So I've got Portugal to win, Ronaldo to score at any time, over 2.5 goals, both teams to score, and Yamal to have over 2.5 shots. If it comes in, it's a 20-1 bet boosted to 40-1. Give it a go yourself. What do you think of mine? Let me know in the comments. And throughout the tournament with Ball Sports, I've also been throwing some World Cup questions at you. There's Javier Bardem. Great film, that, No Country for Old Men. Just a bit of fun. What is the traditional geographic nickname given to the fierce footballing rivalry between Spain and Portugal? Keep hold of your answer. We'll talk about that at half time. We've got another question for you halfway through the half. And as always, it's 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and via the QR code on the screen. Bet with your head and not with your heart. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in as always. Can I just say as well, very exciting news. We are 50 subscribers away from 497,000, which means we're very close to being 3,000 subscribers away from 1.5 million. So please do subscribe and share the video below. Incredible stuff. I hope they keep the camera off Roberto Martinez, because he really does give me Southgate flashbacks. I think he's an absolute prat. I really, really do. It's all going off about Trump as well, isn't it? Look, I've heard a lot of people talk about Balogun, and to be honest with you, Trump's come out and said that he had a word with Infantino. I mean, that's politics in football, which people hate. You know, I don't like politics in football. So that is a concern. Also, as many people flagged up to me last night, I said it wasn't a red card. So if they've rescinded it, I think that's fair. They haven't rescinded it. They've suspended it. So if they'd rescinded it, I don't think Belgium or anybody else has a complaint. Early shot there from Spain. Oyarzabal straight at Costa. So yeah, I don't think anybody has any complaints if they rescind the red card. But what they've actually done is said, well, it is a red card, but we don't want to mess you over in the World Cup, so it's suspended for a year. Spain has started off very well here. I'll go for a throw-in. And I think that's out of order. And it's such a shame because I want the USA to win. I like the football that they've played. I like the way they've played in this tournament. I don't think it was a red card for Balogun, and I don't think the US team have done anything wrong. But what FIFA have done is made them a villain, and I think that's disgusting because it's not actually the USA's team's fault. It's what's gone on with Infantino. So I think it's a real shame in a World Cup where we want it to be about the football, and the football's been fantastic. I think it's a real shame. And what FIFA should have done is said, well, Messi didn't get a red card, so that's not a red card. They should have just rescinded the red card. Suspending it makes it look corrupt, and that's where the problem is. TK Moon, thanks for your super chat. He says, did you pull an all-nighter from adrenaline? No, I went to bed, mate. I ain't stupid. I'm not saying you're stupid if you didn't, but I know a couple of people who just went straight to work. But no, I knew I was doing USA tonight and this tonight, so I needed to get some sleep. Yeah. So yeah. Haaland will take care of England, says Clement. Mate, you know what? You've just reminded me. Can anybody remember on the watch-along last night when we got those super chats from people really quite vile doing super chats about, are you going to stop doing watch-alongs when England get knocked out by Mexico? When we went down to 10 men, there was a couple who were like, now you're going to get absolutely battered. They were really trying to stick the knife in when we were still in front. So, you know your little Haaland joke? I'd just be very, very careful. Very careful about your little jokes because didn't work last night, did it? Do you know what Trump means in northern slang? Says C. King. And 2 days in, I'm already tired of the Balogun drama, says Tiger Valley. Trump lies about everything because he may never have to talk to anyone. He constantly takes credit for things he had nothing to do with, says the Hand of Thrawn. I mean, the Trump angle doesn't massively bother me. It's the fact that they suspended the card instead of rescinding it. That's a FIFA decision. Every great movie needs a villain, Mark. Who better than the US, says Alpha. I want them to beat Belgium. I'm not changing my mind. I want them to beat Belgium. I think Belgium are boring. They get on my nerves, and USA have actually been very entertaining. So I'm just going to stick to the football. And I'm going to stick wanting the USA to win. The global media reaction to the Balogun issue massively over the top. The whole world ignored or tolerated FIFA's corruption for decades. One technicality benefits the USA and the world is apoplectic, says Nerds Ruin Wrestling. I hope you're doing well, pal. Thoughts on Leao, Mark? He's leaving Milan, says Profit Pathway. I wouldn't take him at United. Clem says Haaland will take... I've done that one. Done that one as well. Back with you, Mark, from 4 a.m. this morning. What a roller coaster it was, and work was tough today. Portugal versus Spain World Cup gold, says Darren. Yeah, well, one of these teams ain't going to hit the quarterfinals, are they? But quite an open game to start off with, which is good. Not the best of shots there. Messi is likeable and better than Ronaldo, says JBS. Do you think we could appeal the red card like America, says Time Lord? I'll talk about that in a minute. Thoughts on reversing Balogun's suspension, says Rajaf. I think we've just spoken about that. What's your bet today, Sir Mark Goldbridge, says Aidan. As I said, I've gone through mine. I need to go through the team news, actually. We haven't done that yet. Marge says, I missed the match last night. I heard it went hard. Mate, I don't know why you'd lie about this, but I actually had a couple of mates message me and say their alarm went off at 1 a.m. and they saw it had been put off till 2, so they just decided to go to bed, go back to sleep. And I've said to them, look, you'll never get that back. You know, it's up to you, but you'll never get that back. Like, and you know, they're like, well, surely it can't have been that good. I'm like, watch the highlights. If you missed that game, it's probably one of the best games I've ever seen England be involved in. And not because it was an amazing game of football. I just think it was it was the atmosphere. It was like Rocky IV. It was like being in a situation. He's offside. He has a bell there. He's missed anyway. Surely he's offside. If he's onside, he's missed an absolute sitter. I think he was on. Fucking hell. What a miss. It should be 1-0 to Spain. A Yazabel. I mean, I thought it was one of those ones where you know you're offside and you just take the shot. He's just missed an absolute sitter. Shinobi Ben says, I booked the week off, didn't stop drinking till 7 a.m, woke up about 2 hours ago. What a memory, I'll never forget it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think if you missed it live, obviously people have got jobs and they were tired, but I was never tired. I mean, I stood up for the game, didn't I? So I think that helped, but yeah, I was fine. Portugal struggling on transition, in my opinion, says Clark. Didn't Ronaldo's Ireland red card get suspended for the World Cup, or am I wrong? Says Sponge. I think something did happen there. Third says, who or what is Belgium? And Vipul says, this World Cup has been amazing. What do you think? The stadiums, the atmosphere, memorable matches. I think we would miss this summer and this World Cup. Yeah, I think it's been brilliant, Vipul. And, you know, I thought the group stage was very entertaining. And the fact that it's gone through the knockout stage as well. We've had very few boring games. Very few boring games throughout the whole tournament. Portugal beat Spain on penalties in the Nation League a year ago. If this goes to penalties, I see Portugal winning again, says Jamie. Thank you very much. Let me just go through the team news, by the way. I haven't actually touched on that yet. Ronaldo obviously starting for Portugal. You'll have seen him on the screen. Costa, Cancelo, Diaz, Vega, Mendes, Vitinha, Neves, Bruno, João Felix, Neto, Ronaldo is the starting lineup for Portugal. And then Spain, you've got Simon, Porro, Kabasi, Laporte, Cucurella, Rodri, Pedri, Olmo, Yamal, Baina, and Oyazabal. So both pretty settled starting 11s now. I think Portugal need to score first. I feel if Portugal score first, they can go a little bit defensive, but Spain score first. And I mean, Spain have got a very good defence as well. They have. There was a super chat about whether England could get their red card rescinded. You know, it's funny because I sort of mentioned it on That's Football earlier, but sorry, on the United Stand earlier, but it's definitely more of a That's Football topic because it happened on That's Football. So it would have been about 3 a.m. last night when Kwanzaa made that tackle that led to the red card. And I said at the time on the stream, and I tweeted it, what a fucking idiot. And I got quite a lot of absolutely fine feedback about, you're a disgrace saying that about a footballer. You should apologise, this, that and the other. Hold on a minute. Ronaldo. Good shot. And it goes for a goal kick. Corner. I don't take it back. I don't take it back. I mean, look, if it's 1-0 to Norway in the last minute of the game and Harry Kane runs through one-on-one, goes around the keeper and misses an open goal, will we just go, oh, it's absolutely fine? Like, at the end of the day, there should have been a penalty here. What are people talking about? It was a penalty, blatant penalty. Well, it's not been given, mate, and they've not really made a big deal of it on the cameras either. I know the incident you're talking about, but they really haven't made any big deal of it. Anyway, going back to my point, I don't regret saying that Kwanzaa was a fucking idiot for doing what he did. This is football. You know, it's not a charity. It's football. It's high stakes. And if you make a mistake, you will get criticised. And if you do well, you will get praised. You know, Jordan Pickford against Congo got absolutely rinsed because he made a stupid error on the first goal. Yesterday he was brilliant. He got praised. We can't not criticise footballers because some idiot online might take it too far. It's absolutely part of the game, and it absolutely is correct. And when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning with most of the country watching a game of that magnitude and you want to win, and you watch a player make a tackle like that, I'm sorry, it was idiotic. And of course, it's not excusable to start abusing him or anything like that, and only morons would do that. But it was a fucking idiotic tackle. It was completely and utterly stupid. And if we'd gone out because of it, all the hard work of those players and Tuchel is out because of that stupid decision. I thought it was a ridiculous tackle. You know what? At the time, I was like, what's the Mexican player moaning about? But when they showed the replay, I think we were all like, it's a red. And it was, the thing about it was, I don't even know what was going through his head. It wasn't even one of those tackles where it's like unfortunate red. It was over the top of the ball. It was reckless and it was mad. It was absolutely stupid. But I am very, very pleased that it didn't lead to us going out, because I think you're right. I think there would have been a pile-on from the morons, but it was a stupid tackle. It was an absolutely stupid tackle in a game of that magnitude, and that's why, experience and professionalism is important, and hopefully you'll learn from that, because it could have easily cost us. Thankfully, it's actually empowered us, and we defended a lot better after it. What's the news on Jordan Henderson's injury, says Basil? After I'd finished the stream yesterday, I actually had a few journalists messaging me saying there's an England player down on a stretcher. It looks quite concerning. And my instant reaction is it's going to be a player who's played a load of minutes, who's collapsed from, exhaustion or something like that. I did not expect it to be Jordan Henderson breaking his wrist, falling over an advertising board. But he's out the World Cup, and you can't call people up now. So, Mainu might actually get some minutes. But it looked bad. If you see the replay, it did look really bad. He got a yellow card and broke his wrist. He never even got on the pitch. But I was saying to the lads today, that Jordan Henderson injury is the sort of injury you never do when you're a teenager or you're in your 20s. But it's exactly the reason why Christmas Day A&E departments are full of dads with broken femurs and ankles and arms, because they go and do stuff they think they can still do. It was literally a Pratt dad injury, wasn't it? Trying to... Oh, good save from the keeper from Lamar. And again, Yamal. 2 saves by Costa. Costa was brilliant against Croatia. He's made 2 saves here. Yeah, if you've not seen what happened to Jordan Henderson, he basically just jumps over an advertising board and basically ends up with a very serious broken wrist. That's a good save. The second save's better than the first from Boehner. So Spain have had some good chances in the first 15 minutes. Yazabel one-on-one missed, and then 2 good shots there saved by Costa. Jazzy says, what are your thoughts on Henderson getting booked and breaking his arm without kicking a ball? So funny, that's his only contribution. I don't think it's funny, mate. I imagine he's probably going to end up with a metal plate in his wrist. And it will be very, very painful. But Cucurella, no. Good defending by Portugal. This is the problem with Portugal, though, isn't it? They're just... There's no rhythm to the way they play football at all. A red, it's okay. Just ask the king to call Gianni, says Mark Ash. Done that from Basil. Bellingham should get the armband after Kane, says Ashish. Oh, he was brilliant yesterday, wasn't he? Pepe. Deco, and I know him. I know the one in the middle. He used to have dark hair. It's not Rui Costa. Who's the one in the middle there between Deco and Pepe? I know him. Played against England. I'm not looking at the live chat. It's not Rui Costa. It's I don't know. Nuno Gomez. That's who it is. Well done. Yeah. His hair wasn't that colour when he used to play. Yeah, Bellingham was bloody brilliant, wasn't he, yesterday? Unless your job is really important, Doctor, missing that game is crazy. Game of a lifetime, and I'm glad I was here to witness it. Forever memory, says AMC Deacon. They're down the left-hand side here, and Cucurella did get there as well. No, well, we did sort of hint at it, didn't we? We did sort of hint at it before that, you know, it's a knockout game in the World Cup in the Azteca against Mexico, and it's at 1 a.m. early hours of Monday morning. It had the ingredients to be one of those I was there games, and it certainly lived up to that. I watched the game then, just got back from work, says Dale. Beauty says, whether the red card was right or wrong is no longer relevant. Trump getting involved is the issue. That's not a good look for FIFA or poor USA team. Yeah, I do have sympathy with the USA team, Beauty. Be interesting if Pochettino picks Balogun. Do you think he will? I don't think I would. I wouldn't pick him. But then the USA FA or whatever it's called will probably say, do it. But I wouldn't pick him. Jack Morgan says, crazy what happened to Hendo. No minutes played, yellow card and a broken forearm. Little Carl says, you missed my super chat. I'm working back through them, mate. Have you no idea how corrupt FIFA Baldy is? They robbed India just to make Qatar win the qualifying match. Search YouTube India Qatar FIFA controversy, says Roosh. Nicholas says, I wanted to give you some good news that Santos is only on 35 grand a week. Oh, yeah, well, you can see why we're going there, mate. Portugal over the bar. And I think it was an offside anyway. Little Carl says, your over 2.5 goals voids itself as it has to be over 2.5 goals for both teams to score and Portugal to win. Anyway, it's coming home, says Little Carl. Well observed. Could you do a poll? Who cares about the Saudi League? You basically just want me to do anti-propaganda about the Saudi League. I mean, we're not going to run a poll on it, mate. But to be honest with you, nobody watches the Saudi League, do they? Marge says, I think France versus England in the final. Look, I've had a lot of people saying to me, you know, you've got some sort of special talent. And I feel like saying, well, I could have told you that years ago. Because obviously I predicted that Arsenal would win the league before a ball was kicked. I said that Brazil would flop in this World Cup and get knocked out by Norway. It's there. And I said that it's coming home, England are going to win the World Cup. It won't be easy for England to win the World Cup. It's not like we're going to win the World Cup, it's going to be easy. I think we've got a great opportunity, but I still think that if it's an England-France final, we're the underdog. So if Mexico was difficult, we've still got more difficult games to come. Norway will be very difficult. You know, Erling Haaland can win that game on his own like he did last night. So Norway will be very difficult. And I actually think that although people think it will be Argentina, yeah, I mean, that'll be a difficult game as well. England are going to have I mean, we're going to have to win a penalty shootout as well at some point, which terrifies me. Rodri, that goes for a goal kick. Mark, it's been a hilarious... Owen says, it's hilarious seeing all the Euro fans crying over the Balogun red card. This is America. You should be thanking us for all the World War help. Okay. It's not going to be very inflammatory, that, is it? Hydration break at the perfect time there. Oh, my God. My back is absolutely rinsed. I've been feeling good all day. And I suddenly feel very tired. I tell you what I think I'm going to do. I might do one of my cycle sleeps tonight. So basically what happened, you don't go to sleep on a bike. No. Someone in the chat says, what, on a bike? Yeah, you can't sleep on a bike. It's dangerous. No, I do a cycle sleep. So you either have a 20-minute nap, which is good for you, or you do a 1.5 hour cycle. So you go to sleep for an hour and a half. So tonight, because USA kicks off at 1 a.m., this game will be done by 11. I might just hop into bed for an hour and a half. Tonight, that's my plan, I think. Last night, I just waited up. My daughter, who's at uni, and she's back home now, she was going to go out to the Toby Carvery, was showing it, which is funny, because I said, well, bring me back a roast dinner. But when it got put back till 2 a.m, she said she wanted to watch it at home, so I went and picked her up. But yeah, I just stayed up last night waiting for it. Best top 3 games so far of the World Cup, says R. Montaigne. England, Mexico, Brazil, Norway, and Argentina, Cape Verde. What are yours? I did like Netherlands, Japan in the group stage. I thought that was a very good game. I agree with you about Brazil, Norway. Really enjoyed that. A very open game. England, Mexico was obviously fantastic. I liked England, Croatia as well. I thought that was a good game. And there was another game. I think there was another game that we forget that was really good. That's disgusting, that's something I don't like about this World Cup. The cameras are coming towards you. Yeah, fuck off. It's literally fuck off. Like, get out. The scripted camera work in this World Cup has been fucking awful. For purist football fans, we hate it. We don't want scripted camera people. We just want natural. You know, if a couple are arguing with each other, brilliant. Yeah? If someone's picking their nose, even better. But I don't want to watch a couple of prats doing a dance move on camera. Analog says, you're looking tired, Mark. I mean, that's what happens when you go to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, mate. But if you're tired, go to bed. Stop projecting your tiredness onto me, because I'm going to be still here at 3 a.m. So if you're tired, go to bed. Now people realise all those wasted years under Southgate after last night. Oh, Nicholas, you know what? Yeah, I think that Croatia-Portugal was a good game as well. It was a good game, Croatia-Portugal. I think that, you know what has been doing my head in this World Cup is the England fans who don't like Tuchel desperately trying to say that we were better under Southgate. Desperately trying to say he should have took Maguire, he should have took Cole Palmer, he should have took Trent. They're desperate for us to fail. And I think yesterday it just sat them all down. Tuchel is a world-class manager. Southgate wouldn't even get a job in the Championship. Hamza says, Yamal's talent has already surpassed Messi and Ronaldo. Matt says, Portugal look awful on the ball most of this World Cup. Obviously, Martinez is at fault. Who's the best tactical manager left in the tournament? Well, Deschamps has got the best team. Argentina have got the best unity. I suppose it depends how you class tactical, because tactical could be parking the bus, couldn't it? I think I'd rather say who's got the best footballing, who's the best footballing nation left in the tournament, who plays the best football. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Colombia tomorrow, to be fair. Ninja says Southgate was too cautious, Tuchel was adaptable. Oh, those substitutions to bring Spence and Burn and Stones on. Brilliant. Who has more big game experience than Tuchel, says Constantine? Well, no English manager. And it's games like last night that matter when it comes down to having a top-class coach, because there's no English manager that could have dealt with that situation last night. There isn't anybody that could calmly deal with that. Who are you going to call? Eddie Howe? You know, it's just, and the thing is as well, there's a lot of good English players, and you can tell that they respect him. Compare this atmosphere to last night, says Pepe. Mate, we won't get any. The sad thing is, we will not get an atmosphere like that. I don't even know if you get that atmosphere in the Azteca without Mexico. That was just unique. Dino, I have seen this. I didn't want to depress anybody, but Miami, Dino is just saying there's been an update about the England game on Saturday. Thunderstorms and heavy rain is forecast again. I mean, we're in a completely different country and a completely different city, but Miami on Saturday is thunderstorms and rain again. The only thing that's positive about that is that it's a 10 o'clock game. So even if it gets delayed, at least it's a Saturday night and we're not waiting. I mean, there's nothing worse than a lovely overlap there from Porro. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing worse than an overlap by Porro. There's nothing worse than a 1 a.m. kickoff that gets delayed because of fucking thunder. But Fans Reaction Club says, I hate Ronaldo for not pressuring the defender. Dino's on about thunderstorms. Thank you, Dino. I'd love to go to USA, but my God, a lot of them are dumb, says Mark. Evening, Mark. Just in from work. How's the game been, says Dylan. Half an hour gone. Portugal, their typical uninspiring, boring selves, and Spain have been the better team with the better chances. And another big chance there. Costa makes the save. Goal kick. Tiger Valley says, I hate how the media I hate how the media make uproars over the smallest things. US drama feels artificial and a justification to continue fusing politics into football. Hate it. Ronaldo's just took a knock here, but he's up. Do you ever wish you watched games with the family, says Alan? I mean, I look forward to doing that again. I did that for about 30-something years. So obviously it's just a different time, isn't it, at the moment? But I suppose it's the same for, Wayne Rooney or Gary Neville or Ian Wright, isn't it? Or, Gary Lineker. You're sat in a studio, aren't you? Watching a game of football. People's Balogun opinions are political opinions disguised as football opinions. If they were football opinions, they'd be outraged. Ronaldo is playing, says Nerds Ruined Wrestling. What's the difference between Ronaldo playing and Balogun playing? Did Ronaldo not have his suspended as well? This first high-profile application of the FIFA disciplinary code was Ronaldo. Ronaldo received a direct red card during Portugal's World Cup qualifier in November for elbowing defender Dara O'Shea. The disciplinary code typically mandates a strict 3-match ban for violent conduct, which would have ruled Ronaldo out of the opening match of the 2026 World Cup. Instead, they issued a suspended suspension using Chapter 4, Article 27 of the Disciplinary Code. This allowed Ronaldo to serve his one-match suspension in a pre-World Cup friendly and deferred the remaining 2 matches under a 1-year probationary period. Balogun was initially ruled out, but however, the code ruled on Saturday that his automatic one-match suspension for receiving a red card would be reversed, citing Chapter 4, Article 27, which is exactly what they used for Ronaldo, which notes that the judicial body may decide to fully or partially suspend the implementation of a disciplinary measure. So essentially, it's the Ronaldo rule that's benefited Balogun, isn't it? So yeah, this is why for me it's not that deep, because you're right. In a way, you're right, because it is being politicized by some people who just don't like America. It's almost faux outrage, isn't it? Because it's already been done for Ronaldo. However, I still go back to why suspend the red card, rescind the red card. That's what they should have done. Because in a tournament, it's a little bit different to suspending Ronaldo's in November before the tournament starts. Whereas in this game, you are doing it in the knockout tournament, which is worse. They should have just rescinded it. It wasn't a red card. They should have just said it's not a red card, we're rescinding it. Suspending it. I mean, literally, could England not ask for theirs to be rescinded? Do you think Sir Alex Ferguson would have won the World Cup with England, says John? I mean, around the time he was good with the golden generation, it would have been very interesting. I mean, I think it's hard to win a World Cup, you know. Just because Spain just because Germany are going to get Klopp doesn't mean he'll win the World Cup. He may well be the best international coach when he takes the job, but a lot of things can happen. Oak says, awful take there, Mark. I thought it was actually a brilliant take, because I think it actually explained the situation really well. And you didn't. James says, do you like Vietnamese coffee? I've never had it. I think someone has been pulling strings for Balogun red card suspension, says Mohammed. And love you, Mark. The reason I got into football, says Owen. Love your community. Just want to friendly remind everyone what happened in Revolutionary War. Thank you very much for your super chats. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are... what? We are closing in on 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube, which is absolutely fantastic. So please click and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Oh, great save by the keeper. Ronaldo didn't really get a lot of power on it, but it was heading towards the goal. Don't know what the referee's doing here. Burger says, Goldbridge, brother, I am here. I've been waiting for you. Where you been? Nearly 17,000 watching. Yes, please do click and subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Boyle Sports on this stream, just while I've got a little bit of a break. I've got a couple of quiz questions for you, but my bet builder today is Portugal to win, Ronaldo to score at any time, over 2.5 goals, both teams to score, and Lamine Yamal over 2.5 shots. Yamal has definitely had one shot already. Back yourself at Ball Sports, 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. And our second question for you today is, this is the first time in World Cup history that 3 different players have scored 7+ goals in a single edition of the tournament. Can you name all 3? The Golden Boot race is actually fantastic. It has been incredible. Are you looking forward to the next season? Mate, I love football, so I'm always looking forward to it. But I must admit, after this World Cup, I will need a little bit of a break. I've been a bit disappointed with Portugal. I mean, they are the sort of team that does extra time and penalties, aren't they? Let's get real. But they are so... They so remind me of Italian teams of the past or England under Southgate. They're just so uninspiring to watch. You never watch Portugal and go, oh, what brilliant football. It's just methodical, and the misuse of so many quality players. I mean, their left back's one of the best left backs in the world. You know, you've got people like Vitinha, João Neves, Bruno Fernandes, and you just never watch Portugal and are inspired to go, ooh, really good. We're in Dallas today, by the way. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we basically say goodbye to... he's ruined his boot there, look. Yeah, no more Mexican games. Azteca last night. What a way to say goodbye to the Azteca as well from this World Cup. It was incredible. Oh, he's at the bar. He's at the Denver. Portugal. Mendes with the shot, deflected. It's hit the crossbar. Well, that would have put a cat amongst the pigeons. I mean, to be fair, it was a deliberate header by, I think, Rodri that deflected it onto the bar. Do you think a Euros could be more exciting than a World Cup, says Chris? No, I mean, the World Cup always transcends the Euros because it's the World Cup. You know, you're the best team in the world. Oh, lovely feet there by Yamal. He's got so many players. Does well to switch sides, but just a bit of an upping of the tempo here from Spain. Let's see if it leads to anything. Here's Yamal. And it's a good tackle, and Costa gets hold of it. Here's a version under 200 characters. Why did FIFA ban ANFA, Nepal Football Association, for third-party influence, yet overturn a player's red card after a phone call from Trump. Isn't that also third-party influence, says Bikash. Any World Cup gems for United to sign, Mark, says Niall. Well, I like Nusa for Norway. I think we all like Bouadi for Morocco. I mean, I'm not massive on buying players based on the World Cup, as you know, but there are some good players playing in the World Cup that are ready for a move. Do you think a Euro have done that? I'm really disappointed with Neves, Vitinha and Bruno's output. I was expecting them to dominate. It's been very underwhelming, says Nectario. Yeah, as I say, on paper, very good, but, you know, it's on the coach to get the best out of them, and he hasn't done that. I mean, you look at Bruno in a Man United shirt, and then you look at him in a Portuguese shirt. You just wouldn't think it's the same player. Look how mid Bruno is when he's not centre of the team, says Hamza. Exactly. Hi, Mark. Who is best at Emirates, Spain or Portugal? This is never going to go anywhere, is it, Ali? Thank you. Owen's just gifted 5 memberships, by the way. Legend Owen. Harry says, what do you think about Trump requesting a red card review for the USA team? I mean, if it's legit, it's ridiculous. Metalbox says, your bet's got absolutely no chance at all. But this is what happens with me. I'll get one home, like the England one was brilliant, and then I'll go a little bit arrogant, and you're probably right. Are you doing the USA game yet? Yeah. I mean, Portugal have defended well. I'll give them that. But then again, they've had a very good chance of Spain. This would be Ronaldo's last game, yeah. In the World Cup. Just reading this tweet. Only the unemployed stayed up to watch England versus Mexico last night. The rest of us are at work today contributing to society. I mean, some people are just rage baiters, aren't they? I think, just reading some of your comments about Portugal there's a lot of frustration in the chat as to, you know, they basically play like Paraguay. Oh, Yamal was in there, but not a very good finish. I mean, yeah, he was offside anyway. I think if you're Paraguay or you're, I don't know, Iran, and you're playing somebody like Spain and, you know, you're well organised, and you're just waiting for I don't know, an opportunity from a set piece or anything like that, no one's going to criticise that because it's a mismatch. But the problem with Portugal is that they've got so many good players and they end up playing like Cape Verde. And they've got the players. And that's just bad coaching. It's as simple as that. It's just bad coaching. You know, how poor they are to watch and how he can't get the best out of these players. It's systematic of a bad coach. Got a really itchy nose. Looking like it's going to be 0-0 at half time, yes. Unless something happens here. Another corner to Spain. No. It's giving a foul. This game may well be a very good one to predict that goes to extra time. Arsenal, we're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen, says Chev. God, you must be bored, mate. Is it hotter tonight in Solihull or Dallas? I like these sort of questions. We are back in a heat wave. I've got my thermometer here. It won't give up any private information, really. So, in my room at the moment, it is 26 degrees. I don't know why it won't focus in on that. 26 degrees at the moment. Dallas weather is 36. They're winning. Fucking hell, 36 degrees. That's all. I mean, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If Haaland chose England, who drops out from the 11? Says Ahmed. Well, I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't. You know what a quarter-final that's going to be. Norway, been very good to watch. England, you know, I think England will be favourites in that game, but only the same as Brazil were favourites. Somebody said to me, "Would you rather have played Brazil in the quarter-final?" No. I think it's really important that when I say I think Brazil are going to flop and go out to Norway, that it happens because it makes me look really intelligent. But no, on a serious note, I think it's really important that the footballing landscape changes, that we start to have tournaments where it's not just France, Argentina, Brazil, England, Germany, Spain who are going to make it to the final or the semi-final or the quarter-final. Yeah, I think it's important, and I think Norway are there by merit. So, obviously Brazil-England would have been a big name game, but I'm more than happy that we're playing Norway. Right now in Melbourne at 5:50 a.m. it's 4 degrees, says Majid. That's cool. Literally. Right. I think we're at half time, aren't we? Costa's having a drink. They go to different tunnels here. It is 4 degrees in Melbourne, you're right. I tell you what, but that's lovely. I'd have a bit of that now. It is your winter though, isn't it? It ain't like that here, mate. I'll tell you what, mate. It ain't like that here. I don't know what accent I'm meant to be doing, but I wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else. And you know what, Cobber? Where I live, it's 23 degrees, and it's 9 o'clock at night, and it's gonna go hot tomorrow, and yeah, bloody hell, mate. It's going to be really hot on Thursday. It's going to be 32 degrees on Thursday, mate. Phew-wee. Anyway, Why is there hydration breaks in an AC stadium? There's hydration breaks, Ninja, in every game in the World Cup. It was a rule they made up, and that's the way it's going to be. Simple as. Simple as. Saida says, Ronaldo walking around clueless again. Bruno looks so slow compared to this past season, says Hitton. Ronaldo looks alive today, some magic to be had, says Stephen. Just tuned in, who's on top, says Hex. I would say Spain. Yeah. Yeah. But not, not by much. It's been, compared to the games we had yesterday, and considering on paper, Portugal-Spain would be the game that everyone would go is the biggest game, it's been pretty shit. Yeah. United States against Belgium is being played in Seattle, which is the stadium I like. And it's the last time we're in Seattle, actually. So I'm very happy that I'm doing that game at 1 a.m. because it's one of my favourite stadiums. And it's the last time we'll be in Seattle. In fact, let's just do stadium watch for a moment. We've had the last game in Mexico, which was the Azteca last night. What a game it was. The last game in Canada is Vancouver at 9 o'clock tomorrow night between Switzerland and Colombia. Argentina, Egypt play in Atlanta. Obviously, we've got United States playing Belgium in Seattle, which I love that stadium. So looking forward to that. It's the one with the triangle behind the goal. And this is Dallas. And then the quarterfinals, we've got the first quarterfinal is on Thursday at 9 o'clock in Boston. And it's France against Morocco. The Friday quarterfinal will be the winner of this game against the winner of the United States game in LA on Friday at 8 o'clock. Then 10 o'clock on Saturday night, we've got Norway against England in Miami. And then the winner of Switzerland, Colombia and Argentina, Egypt will play at 2 a.m. in Kansas City in the early hours of Sunday morning. And then the semi-finals are Atlanta for England or whoever comes through there, if England beat Norway. Bit of a spoiler there. And we've got Dallas again for the France side of the draw. And then the finals in New York. So, yep. Last game in Seattle tonight. One of my favourite stadiums in this World Cup. Have you seen UEFA's statement on the Balogun decision, says Bradley? I mean, if it's the same one we had this time last night, yeah. What's it going to take for people to shut up about Balogun, says Just Pasty? Well, that's what I was trying to say in a nice way. Matt Casey says that was a great Cockney Aussie accent, mate. And Ashish says to blame the bad performances on Ronaldo, you have to be brain dead. There is no pattern to Portugal's play. Midfield and wingers is bad, and only Nuno Mendes looks good. Blame Martinez. Ronaldo hate is getting old. You know what, Ashish? I do agree with you, and I was literally going to say the same thing. Ronaldo is not responsible for Vitinha, Neves, and Bruno having no cohesion. He's not responsible for the width of the team having no chemistry. This is a tactical thing, And look, there are videos of me saying that we need to drop Harry Kane for Ollie Watkins in previous tournaments. I was like, we're not, Harry Kane's crap. Get rid of Harry Kane. Drop Harry Kane. And this was absolutely something I would not change my mind about. The videos are there. I'm not going to delete them. They're not shorts, mate. They're pyjama shorts. I'm not going to bloody go out in public like that. Although technically I'm more than out in public, am I? Not that way. But absolutely, mate. Like, I would have dropped Harry Kane under Southgate at times. But look at Southgate under Tuchel. Look at Southgate at Spurs. Look at Kane under Southgate. Look at Kane at Spurs. Look at Kane at Bayern. He's one of the best strikers in the world. But under Southgate, he was very, very frustrating. So it's the same with Ronaldo, isn't it? Ronaldo's not the problem with Portugal. You, Portuguese people, well, it's not your fault. Your FA went and appointed an idiot. Yeah? Your FA went and gave the job to a guy that messed up Belgium. If Portugal were managed by Pep, you'd be a bloody good team. If Portugal were managed by Enrique, you'd be an incredible team. Because you've got wingers and you've got Vitinha, Mendes and Neves. Imagine Luis Enrique managing the Portugal side. Be incredible. I think that Azpilicueta is wearing the same top again in a different colour. Don't you think? If you know, you know. I think that's just a different colour. I think it's the same top in a different colour. Is anybody here from the stream a few days ago when he had a top on that I really liked? Well, I reckon that's the same top in a different colour. I think basically he's mocking me. We could never find out where it was from. No, the one he had on last time was like a petrol blue. I know where it's from. I actually do know where it's from. I messaged somebody on the panel and they asked him. I do know where it's from. And when I've got one, I'm going to tell you where it's from if you want to know. What's it going to take for people to... that was a great Cockney accent, thank you very much. Don't mind at all being called a Yank, but in the US the term is used by Southerners to describe Northerners. It's an old Civil War thing, says Nerds Ruin Wrestling. I never call you that. Have you seen UEFA Step done that one? Right now. Where's done that? Okay. Rate this team. Sanchez, Shaw, Fofana, Kilman, Gusto, Henderson, Soucek, Florentino, Garnacho, Delap, Gittins, manager Roberto Martinez. Fucking hell. You're going down, TK Moon. You're going down. I tell you that for free. You're going down for that. Mick says, Mark, I'm from Texas. If you want a cheap homemade AC that works for hours, look up homemade swamp cooler, bucket, ice, fan, PVB pipe, tubes and tape. That sounds way too hard for me. Way too hard, Mick. Who do you want to win the games, is Robin. Honestly, if it goes to extra time and penalties, I don't really mind. I really don't mind, but I would probably say Spain if we want this to be over in 90 minutes. Yeah, if you want it to be over in 90 minutes, you probably should say Spain. The RBFA, whoever they are, J-Lo, says that has informed the United States Soccer Federation that it contests the eligibility of the player. Should the player be listed on the referee's team sheet, what could they do, Mark, says J-Lo. Oh, is that the Belgian FA? This is... I can see all sides on this, but it has become something it never needed to be, and it's not the USA's team's fault. It's FIFA's fault. Yeah, it's FIFA's fault. But look, England should have got the World Cup in, I don't know whether it was 2006. There was dodgy stuff going on backhanders going to different federations. Unfortunately, there's always been, accusations of, corruption and, dodgy decisions in relation to footballing authorities, which is a shame. As I said, Balogun should have had his card rescinded and then no one would moan about it. Suspending it in a tournament was a bit stupid, really. Are you going to try and get Oasis tickets for next year, says Zane? Have they announced they're doing it again? Interesting. Robin, thank you. Runden says, as a Norwegian United fan, I've been cheering for England in every World Cup since '98. Saturday that will change. Wish you all the best though. Oh, the thing about that though, mate, is it was brilliant last night. We had loads of Mexican fans who I think watched the channel anyway, because they left so many messages in my match reaction, and there was so many of them in the live chat as well. And, you know, they would have been desperate to win. We were desperate to win. But I think when it was all over, and it would have been horrible to lose that game for Mexico, of course it would have been. But I think it was played in the right spirit, and I'm sure it'll be the same on Sunday. I mean, look, the winner takes it all. Let's not mess about. Owen says, again, love everyone. Unfortunately, I have to work because here in America, we have to work more than 5 months of the year. Go USA. And my air condition is real cool. USA heat is no joke. Love you, Mark. Thank you, Owen. And Nick P says, this game is like 2 paracetamol compared to last night. Spanish Southgate has ruined the fun, says Nick P. Exactly. I think it's got to be worth an antagonistic tweet about it, hasn't it? But I do think it is idiotic to blame Ronaldo for Portugal bad performances, when clearly it is the Spanish Southgate. I mean, you've got 3 PSG players who've won the Champions League who look bang average. You've got the #1 Premier League assister in Premier League history who looks bang average. I don't think you can pin it all on Ronaldo. Be honest, Mark, is the US the worst place for the World Cup games? Timing sucks. I've loved the World Cup, Tommy. I've loved the World Cup, and I think for those of us that stayed up last night, we'll remember that for the rest of our lives. I know people moaned about staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, but we got an incredible game at a strange time that made it even more special. I think it was, incredible, really. Yeah. What do you think about Garnacho being up for sale? I think it's funny. I think it's funny. You know, I was very loyal to Di Matteo. I definitely need some sleep. I was very loyal to Garnacho, and I think that he's a player that could have had a great future at Manchester United, but you know, he blew it. He blew it. And ultimately, you know, at Chelsea, he's just not been good enough, has he? Although no one understood. Lost my live chat. Do you reckon Kimmich would have been a good colonel? Oh my God. Can we just stop talking about the fucking war? You're out, mate. I don't know what you think's funny about it, but you're gone. Get out. Do you like Aspilicueta's jacket, Mark? I do, and I know where it's from, Kyle. I know where it's from. Do you think Spurs challenge for top 6 next season, says JID? They might do. I mean, it's hard to go from 4th bottom to top 5, but... Well, there's Ramos getting a bit of screen time. Obviously, the cameraman thinks Ronaldo needs taking off. The game yesterday was amazing. I hope Mexico play England more often. Cheers from the US, says Louis. Be honest, Mark. Done that one. Done that one as well. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We are on the road to 1.5 million. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thank you, everybody, as always. We could hit it by the World Cup final, which would be incredible as well. So please do keep subscribing, getting involved with That's Football. You're all very, very welcome on here. Second half has kicked off. Cross came in there. The game does need a goal. And I think a goal could change this game. Obviously, it will change the game. A goal could change this game in the sense that whoever scores first is capable of sitting back. Why is it not working? It's working now. Sorry, it just keeps knocking out my live chat. I feel sorry for Spain. I think sometimes a little bit like France against Paraguay, a little bit like England against DR Congo and Ghana, you can only do so much against what's in front of you. And you know what? Portugal's approach to this game is so negative. But defensively, they are well organised. So it's hard to get a good game of football. I mean, you know, I thought Norway-Brazil was a very good game of football to watch. Did you see Harry Kane's interview at the end? Jordan. I thought it was brilliant. He'd obviously knackered his voice up, hadn't he, from singing Wonderwall and all that. It was brilliant. You know what? And he laughed about it as well. And I think it was just a great evening, wasn't it? You don't get many nights like that in football. And as I said at the start of the stream, you know, looking at the England fans behind the goal singing Wonderwall, I loved it. I loved looking at all those fans out there for England together. Brilliant. You know, I've said it before about cricket with the Barmy Army. I thought the Mexican fans were great. And as I said, in a society that seems to be, well, we have it force-fed down our throats that, you know, stabbing here or, you know, incident there or, you know, gangs of people doing this to kids here. It's, you know, the news is depressing and full of evil. And you see things like that and you think football is a great sport, isn't it? It brings people together. Obviously, it's horrible when you lose, but those Mexico fans still lost together, didn't they? They were still part of something. Yeah, it's funny because in my lifetime, football, hooliganism, football fans, football crowds, you know, it's always been, you know, shit on the shoe really. But I think in 2026, and we don't really seem to get any trouble anymore as well, do we? You know, there's not like, I don't think there's been any talk of hooliganism or anything like that in any of the games. Football for the good, football for the greater good. Football unites people. And I'm not massively the only thing that makes me feel English is England football team, you know. But you know, if you're Portuguese, you're Brazilian, Australian, Mexican, being able to get behind your team, it's quite a nice unfamiliar feeling in 2026, isn't it? To get behind something and be proud of it. Do you think the hooligans can't afford to go anymore, Mark? Maybe, but there might be something to do with that. Or they're probably all a bit old now. Also, some of the countries you're playing in, you probably wouldn't want to be a hooligan walking around Mexico, Canada, or the United States, because their police probably don't fuck about either. You know, in the UK, I think some of the policing, you probably get away with what you bloody well want, can't you? Yamal is in Nuno Mendes's pocket here, Mark, says Dab. A few people are saying that as well. I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a dangerous game for Spain, though. A lot of people saying Spain won't win. Spain will win this one, but it's a bit of an interesting game for Spain because they could definitely concede. That's Vieri, isn't it? But I can't understand the connection. He was an Italian striker. I'm sure that was Christian Vieri. Here's Yamal. Well, he's gone past Mendes that time. Nobody in the middle for him, though. Slow from Spain. It was Vieri, thank you very much. Yeah. Did he play in Spain? Possibly. I don't know where Yazabal or Baina were there because Yamal's travelled a long way there and nobody in the box. You should be busting a gut to get in there. David says it felt like Mexico were reffing the match. That was so intense. You know what, though? You know what? When the whistle blows and, you know, I watched the highlights with Seb this morning and when he got back from school. Because the bad thing for me is that I love doing the watch-along and I don't have the audio and it makes it better. But last night was one of those games, very rarely, where it absolutely killed me not being able to hear the crowd. But a game like this, I couldn't give a shit. But, you know, anyway, so I've watched it back a couple of times. And to be fair, I don't think the ref had a bad game. I know Tuchel said he did. And I understand why Tuchel said that. Because... you know, it's a bit of building a bit of a siege mentality. But when you look back at it, the red card was right. The penalty for us was right. The only one that was wrong, I think, was the Kane penalty. I think that was a bit harsh. Mendes might be going off here. Well, this could be a key thing if Mendes goes off, not only for this game, but for the tournament as well. Yeah, he don't look very happy. defeated, isn't it? You know, he's done so well against Yamal, but he is defeated there. Who's coming on at left back? Semedo. Used to be at Wolves, didn't he, Semedo? Semedo. That's Sanadu. Semedo is 32. Semedo, 32. And he used to play for Wolves, but now he plays for Fenerbahce. His name is Semedo, 32. Yeah, he plays for Fenerbahce now. Could have brought Delo on, but probably not a good idea. 2 penalties and 11 minutes added on. The ref did all he could to help Mexico, says Anglo-Saxon. I don't think he was as bad as some people want to make out. I mean, the Kane penalty was a joke, but I don't think VAR helped him much. Why aren't the Portuguese in shorts that are green, says Langford. I don't know. Do they normally wear green shorts? Do you still prefer Neto over Elise, says Hayden. Oh God, I got something wrong. What a fucking surprise. I also said that when Liverpool bought Van Dijk, they were spending £75 million on the Dutch Chris Smalling. So, mate, I'll literally tell you things I got wrong badly because guess what? I'm a human being. We seem to live in a world obsessed with, you know, pulling people down because they may have said something wrong at one point. Well, hello, people make things wrong all the time. However, I did say Brazil would be the flop of the tournament and get knocked out by Norway. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Shove your altitude up your arse. Singing Vindaloo is the reason England won, says Ashish. I know, I was learning that. I can't remember it now. I don't know where the bloody... Oh, I can't find the thing now. What's that little bit of plastic that you use to play a guitar with? I literally had it. There it is. When I get the guitar out, it means it's not a good game, people. Not bad. Actually enjoyed that more than the game. That's woke me up a bit. Fucking hell, we need a goal. I'll be singing the theme tune to Neighbours next. I know that as well. Neighbours. I do know that. Everybody needs good neighbours. That's more of an early hours of the morning thing. Favourite Christmas movie? Oh my God. How have we gone from Super Sunday with Brazil and Norway and England and Mexico to, I can't think of a word bad enough for You know what though? This is a lesson in the best game on paper isn't necessarily the best game in reality. Remember Norway, France? We were all looking forward to that. It was probably the shittest game of the tournament. Your singing is more entertaining than the match, says Fans Reactions Club. I know, and my singing shit. Did you know USA mostly likely be the 2038 host, says Jazzy. I think it's ridiculous that England haven't hosted a tournament since 1966. Jason says the gold gods are on vacation. Samuel says predictions for the game / bet builder. Well, hold on a minute. Don't shoot. Fucking idiot. You should not have shot from there, Pedri. You should have gone to Yamal. Well, my bet builder, because we are sponsored by Ball Sports on the stream, as you know. My bet builder is not looking good. I mean, I can hide behind the fact that I got it home for the England game, but so far not very good. I've got both teams to score. I've got Portugal to win. I've got Ronaldo to score at any time. And I've got Yamal to have over 2.5 shots. I think he's had 1. So yeah, I'm not doing very well at the moment. What I can do is give you the answer to our 2 quiz questions through Boyle Sports. What is the traditional geographical name given to the fierce footballing rivalry between Spain and Portugal? It's the Iberian Derby. And this is the first time in the World Cup history that we've had 3 different players have scored 7 goals in a single edition of the tournament. Name the 3, of course, I know it. It's Mbappe, Messi and Haaland, and Harry Kane's on 6. Don't forget, if you are betting with Ball Sports, it's all about betting with your head, not with your heart. Make sure you put your loyalty and patriotism aside and make your picks with clarity of thought. Don't let your emotions muddy the waters. 18 plus only. New UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Please bet responsibly. Be gamble aware. I think my bet builder for the USA game will come in. This is looking hard. I wish I hadn't gone with goals in this one, but I don't like to say at the start of the stream, look at my bet builder. I'm going for neither team to score, less than 2 shots, and a shit game. But I sort of did feel that might happen. But you know what? As much as we say it's been a bit of a shit game, remember the consequences of going out before the quarterfinals for these 2 countries is huge. Spain would have, you know, not delusions, but Spain would have thoughts about winning this tournament. And Portugal, it's not really acceptable to go out in this round either. Here's Neto, looking for a 1-2. I mean, I think after the next hydration break, if we get a goal, either of these teams, it does become tough to come back. Me dad, me mum and me gran, we're off to Vindaloo. Me dad, me mum, me gran, and a bucket of Vindaloo. Why are you playing a joint of ham, like a guitar, you prat? La li la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. I think this game's always looked to me like it might go to extra time. Although, you know, you go back, Spain did have a great chance with Oyarzabal. You know, an absolutely brilliant chance. There's another shot. I'm having to replay last night's iconic match in my head to stay awake during this one, says Rebecca. Hope you're doing well, Rebecca. Would you rather go on a romantic week with Jolene Lescott or have Jason Wilcox as your boss forever? Happy Monday, says Short-Tempered Gamer. A romantic weekend with Jolene Lescott. I think I'd rather have Jason Wilcox as my boss. At least I could take the piss out of him. I mean, he must be easy to work for because he's incompetent, isn't he? So I could just spend the day, you know, writing comedy scripts and stuff, and he wouldn't know what I was doing. Porro, does Yazabel not know about attacking the 6-yard box? I think that's what Porro's saying. Like, do you not know about attacking the 6-yard box? Because both him and Yamal have put the right crosses in twice, and he's MIA. If you started a band, what would you call it, says Alms. Oh, I mean, I think all the good band names are gone now, aren't they? Goldbridge wouldn't be a bad name for a band, actually. I think Neymar, sorry, I think Yamal, Spain's behaviour in this game, they've got to be very careful that it doesn't come back and bite them on the arse. Because look, if they score late on and they win 1-0, job done, you know? I mean, that's a foul, Anthony Taylor. I don't know what you're talking about there, bro. I don't know why I'm calling you bro. I think Ruben Diaz has dropped off since when he first came to City. I think Garzilla, I think Ruben Diaz, you've hit a nerve here. I think Ruben Diaz is one of the most overrated centre-backs in world football. I think he's a Portuguese Tarkovsky, and it used to piss me off how every year he'd get in the Premier League team of the season, and yet when I'd watch him, I'd go, why? I think he had a good 1, maybe 2 season at the start. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think Tarkovsky's terrible, but I don't think he's any better. Someone make a sub, says Oil Cruiser. Thoughts on Neymar's behaviour in his last match, says Vishu. I mean, it was giving me off vibes of Will Smith. You know, Will Smith, I mean, I don't like his music, but as an actor, I quite like him. And, I mean, he's had a bit of a meltdown, hasn't he? In his latter days. And, you know, Neymar, no doubt about it, was a very good footballer. But, again, he just seems to have had a bit of a meltdown. I mean, you're literally going out of the World Cup hydration break, and you're going out of the World Cup, and he's getting into a one-on-one with the goalkeeper who's going to be in the next round. He scores the penalty and he thinks he's won. I just found it incredible how he thought he'd won the battle with the goalkeeper because he scored the penalty, and they were literally about to get knocked out. He was acting like, I don't know whether he didn't know, I think he was acting like he was scoring the winner. Well, Ronaldo sat in a chair here. He's probably had enough. Kick-off times for tomorrow night's games. Early one, Argentina-Egypt is 5 p.m. The weird kick-off times in this tournament continue. 5 p.m. is the start time for Argentina-Egypt, and then it's a 9 p.m. for Switzerland against Colombia. So I think we've only got 2, and I'm sad to say this, we've only got 2 early hours games left. There's this one at 1 a.m. tonight, and then there's the 2 a.m. quarter-final on the early hours of Sunday morning. Yeah. Could you play the start of I Wanna Be Adored, says Aidan. I could probably learn it. Youngun, thanks for your super chat. Bilal says, I want to marry you. Bilal, I'll warn you once. You're a constant troublemaker. I normally block you straight away. And I've just seen your second super chat, Bilal, and you're gone. So everyone say goodbye to Bilal. A constant threat in our live chat. Tiger Valley said this is the worst game of the tournament and I support Portugal. Nico Williams' importance for Spain is understated, says Jonathan. His threat in behind is needed when the rest of the team want the ball at their feet and lack pace. Is he injured then? Langford says, there are only 4 teams in the World Cup who don't wear their flag colours as their kits. Can you guess them? Japan. Please says that guitar is tuned to the sound of pots and pans falling down a flight of stairs. It's not. It is tuned. It's just a crap guitar. Sam says, yesterday 2 games were the best so far. Aidan wants to play the start of a door. I'd have to learn it. Fraser says, my washing machine's got better rhythm. Do you think Jay from In-Betweeners actually had trials at West Ham, says Snoopy? Can you say purple burglar alarm in Scottish, says John? Why does it sound like something else? I don't trust that sort of thing. We've finally got a couple of subs here. Let me tell you about them. Liao is on. Well, Semedo came on for the injured Mendes. That was an enforced one. Spain have made no subs, despite having quite good options. That's a foul. So, João Felix has gone off Liao and Cancelo's gone off for Delot. So, Delot is on the pitch. This game is making meals, says Bran. Who do you think will have a better season between Alonso and De Zerbi, says Garza? I can't answer that, Garzilla, can I? Because I don't know. You've got to see what their transfer windows actually end up being. What's your favourite kind of body of water, says Jan. I do not know how to answer that. Could you play done that? Thoughts on how England result may give them belief to win the World Cup? We looked good before the sending off, so shame we couldn't see England in full flow, says Goldio. Well, if you can win a game like that, you can win anything, can't you? Free kick by Yamal. Straight at the keeper. He tips it over for a corner. Oh, body of water like a pond or a lake or a river. I like rivers. Yeah. As I said, the sea can be deceptive. You could be lying there on the sand thinking you're fine, and then have a little sleep, and then you'll wake up drowned because the tide's come in. Sneaky, the sea. Also a lake. You could go for a little swim in the lake and then get ate by a crocodile. River. A river is what it is. You can see the rapids. You can see the flow. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven says, what do you think of Oasis Wonderwall being played after every England game? I don't really know. I don't really know where it came from, and I don't mind it. I mean, it's quite, I like Oasis, so I don't mind it. Yeah. Ashley says, let's watch Delot pass and run to the centre. What does everybody else think about a Wonderwall being played? Did it start in this World Cup? Is that where it started? Jay Dead says, how do you wake up drowned? Well, how do you know you don't? Yamal's in down the right-hand side here. He's got a 3v3 across the bay. Oh, fucking hell. Didn't even end up with a shot. Sajad says, what's wrong with Martinez not playing Nunes? Next World Cup is the 100th anniversary. I suggest every nation participates. No group stage, just straight up knockout bracket from the start to finish as reverse. Ferran Torres is coming on for Span. Can you play Vindaloo again? The game's boring. I think a lot of people hated it, mate. Who do you think has the highest ceiling between Nunes and Hall? Is Bruno? Oh, side netting. Half a chance. Are we Nunes and Hall? Are we talking about Mendes? Garzilla. Portugal. Mendes is better than Hall. Portugal is a joke, playing in a back five. Spain not much better. It's more of a friendly, says Scott. It's been shit, hasn't it? Let's call a spade a spade. Do you think Morocco can beat France? I'm looking forward to it, Saybird. But, I mean, France, to me... I mean, look. If France got knocked out by Morocco, it's coming home. Because I think France are the only team that I look at and go, they're difficult to beat, you know. Next World Cup, who will play Argentina in the final, says Nabil. I don't think Argentina are getting to the final, mate. I think people are underestimating Colombia in the quarter-final. If they get through Switzerland, I think Colombia can beat Argentina. Norway's going to smash England, says Kenny. But that's just overexcited bullshit, mate. Norway can win the game, but they ain't smashing England, are they? Not unless we get a man sent off or something stupid. It won't be that type of a game. Mark's new single, Vindaloo, out this Christmas. No, I'm going to learn... Oh, that's a point. I wonder if I can learn the chords for this, and then you can guess what it is. Oh, it's not that easy, actually. I'll have to learn that one for you. Good turn by Torres. You're underestimating the referees for Argentina. It's a good ball into Yamal. Sorry, not Yamal, Olmo. I think it's going to be very hard to break down this Portuguese defence. Which song has your favourite guitar solo, says Godzilla. I quite like November Rain. It's probably a very easy solo, but I quite like it. Rosebud, thank you very much for the super chat. Would you rather get thumped by Argentina in the semi-final or become an Arsenal supporter? Says Seamus the King. Corner for Spain. Another punch away. Costa's very good, isn't he, in goal as well. Winston says, boring game. If both teams could lose, I'd want that. Would you take Tuchel at United, says Matty? Yes. Was that a handball? It's hard to tell from there. I'd love a penalty. I'd love anything more than extra time. Maybe I've overrated Colombia because Delstar says I'm Colombian and even I don't think we'll beat Argentina. Maybe I've overrated then. Do often think of your worst start to a live stream, says Cameron. I think the one when I bit the inside of my mouth and I was in a bad mood anyway. More subs from the chaotic idiot Martinez. He's going to make another double substitution now, none of which is going to be with Ronaldo. I mean, you've literally got a guy who won you the last game and you haven't brought him on. David Raya doesn't start for Spain. It's a weird thing. Like, they never used to start De Gea either, and he was the best goalkeeper. Here's Yamal. I mean, Spain are the better attacking team, but I tell you what, I don't think France are going to be worried about playing any of these in the semi-final, are they? Presuming it will be one of these in the semi-final. The supplier versus consumers derby was great, Mark, says James. Sahel says, I watch your streams while playing FIFA. I'm surprised somebody still plays bloody FIFA, you know. Good play by Liao. I would take Ronaldo off now. He's been on the pitch for 80 minutes. Where's Yazabel? I mean, sometimes he literally does go missing as their striker. Has he been took off? Yeah. Oh, dear me. No, he hasn't. He's still on. He is still on. Fucking hell. I mean, sometimes you look at Spain, they don't even have a bloody striker. Do you wish he'd gone out to the World Cup, Mark? I tell you what, that is a long, long time to go out. I mean, I know some people are out there, and I'm sure you can figure out who they are. And, I mean, I like New York, but all in all, it's about 6 weeks living there. And you don't get to come back. Double substitution here, Portugal. Vitinha and Pedro Neto are going off. And Bernardo Silva and Conceição are coming on. Well, he's failed. He's failed, hasn't he, Martinez? He's failed to get the best out of these players. Marino is coming on. Was he even fit for Arsenal at the end of the season, or did he just get fit for the World Cup? Bruno is very different for Portugal. Very difficult. Very, very good. Sorry, very different. Yazabel about as useless as Ronaldo today, says Lee. I mean, if he'd scored that goal in the first half, I wish he'd bloody scored it. We'd have had a very different game. What was that, in the first 10 minutes? Fabian Ruiz coming on as well. A good player. Tom Grant says, is this England's best chance to win the World Cup? Ironically, no. I mean, the circumstances of this World Cup don't actually suit England. I mean, having to go and play at altitude against Mexico in the Azteca is difficult. Miami will be very, very hot. Obviously, it will be for Norway. In a way, we're better off playing Norway than Brazil, because Brazil would be more used to the heat. The semi-final will be against Argentina, probably. And that will be in somewhere hot as well, probably. Atlanta. So, it's, yeah, I mean, but maybe that's what's helping us, you know. This match is a snooze fest, says Dude. Especially after the match last night, up the 3 lines. Prog says, should Delo have been in a tissue, Mark? What does that mean? Ollie would be great at Brazil or Portugal, says Garzilla. It's a good run by Yamal. It's an easy take. This is going to extra time. What a shit game. Hi Mark, says Harley Travel. Shout out to Star, please. To answer Tom Grant's question, is this England's best chance to win the World Cup? I still think Japan 2002, we could have done it. I think if we'd beaten Germany on penalties in Italia 90, we'd have done it. So I don't know. No, I don't think it's our best chance. Not yet. I'll tell you what, Arsenal fans must be loving this game. This would be right up your street, wouldn't it? It's like a busman's holiday. If you could ask any past or present England player a question that they had to answer truthfully, what would it be, says James? Fucking hell, James, that's really boring. I mean, I don't think there's anything from a previous England player I really want to know. I'll take that to the chat. I genuinely don't think there's anything from an England player I'd want to know that they haven't already said. There's loads from United players, but I don't think from an England player I'd be that bothered. I have seen Obsession. It's very good. I wish I was watching it now, and I've seen it before. The semi-final match will be Atlanta, and it's covered climate control. Miami is partially enclosed with natural breeze reducing the temp, says Angelo. Lovely stuff. This is shit. I mean, I can't believe this is going to extra time. This is fucking shit. What? I'm going to tweet it as well. What an absolute shit game. Martinez should be sacked. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that they've got so many good players and they're shit. And I say this every tournament about Portugal. Don't fall into the trap that they've got good players, because they're boring. $88 minutes. Get ready for extra time, everybody. Woo! Can't wait. Fucking hell, half an hour more of this. They're really spoiling us. I'd kick them both out. So what I would do, I would kick them both out and bring Mexico back. We'd all vote for that, wouldn't we? Donald Trump can probably sort that out. He wouldn't bring Mexico back though, would he? I don't think he would. In fairness to Spain, a lot of this is down to Portugal. As I said, when England played against Ghana, we got a load of shit for it. But look at the shape of Portugal here. 6 minutes added on. Someone said that's what it... Oh, go on, please score. Get in! Is he offside? Please be onside. Please be onside. Please be onside. I tell you what, I think he's onside. Get in. I don't fucking care. It's a bit like Paraguay, France. You know... What a shit way for Portugal to go out the tournament. Like a pair of fucking slippers. Boring. Saved us from extra time. Just make sure he's onside here. Oh, he's going to be he's miles on. He's absolutely miles on. Brilliant goal. Well done. Well done. You know what, though? There's so many great Portuguese people out there, like Bruno Fernandes. You know, it's unfair on him, but this is what happens when you get given a shit coach. You know? You can have all the talent in the world, but if you've got a prat in charge, this is what happens. And I said it at the time. I never understood why Portugal gave Martinez the job, and now you're going to fucking waste a World Cup on him. Boring. The most boring performance I've seen from a good team. Absolute shit show from Portugal. And you deserve to get knocked out. But your fans deserve better. You're going out with a fucking whimper. At least Mexico went out bravely and, you know, fought. You're going out like a cat's meow. Imagine getting knocked out of the World Cup like this, though. I mean, you know, when England get knocked out of the World Cup, we normally lose on penalties or have a man sent off. Imagine getting knocked out like that. An absolute shit show of a performance. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I don't know why I care. I really don't care, but I do care. I feel bad for Portugal. The country, the people. I went on holiday there and I really liked it. But there's a lesson there. Don't give Roberto Martinez a national team job. And definitely don't give him a club team job. But the guy's a chancer. I've said it for years. I said it. Belgium is a fucking chancer. He's an absolute chancer. I mean, I'd do a better job. How do you have people like Vitinha, Mendes, Neves, Bruno, Leao, Neto, Conceição, Trincao, Ronaldo? How do you have players like that and play worse than DR Congo? Who don't have players like that? You know, there's countries in this World Cup who don't have anywhere near the talent pool that Portugal have got, and they've played way better. Ivory Coast, Japan, Austria. Imagine what what Rangnick would do with this team. Well, he wouldn't do very well actually, because Ronaldo wouldn't run. But what an embarrassing, pitiful way to go out. I would liken Portugal going out to a fart, a wet fart. In fact, I haven't done one of them since I was a kid. A sad way for Ronaldo's World Cup to end, by the way. An embarrassment, actually, for Ronaldo's World Cup to end. I mean, just an absolute... Portugal have played it like an exhibition. The thing is, Spain have got a good defence as well. Barely a whimper, says IX. Yeah, it's been shockingly shit, to be fair. Everyone seems to know the score. Well, they've seen it all before. I don't know why I'm singing that. I've just realised I haven't set the Belgium game up. Belgium. I always spell Belgium wrong. It's Belgium, if you want to spell it. I always put the U before the I. Well, I have enjoyed the fact that we're not going to extra time. I'm not going to lie. But get ready to watch Ronaldo cry, which will be very sad, but even more sad, he's going to be crying about going out in an absolute shit way. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I'd sack Martinez now. I'd ring Ronaldo up and say, you can do it. Do you want to be the manager? Shocking. What Pratt said, I know, this is a good idea. Let's get Roberto Martinez as the manager of Portugal. He's done a really good job at ruining the golden generation for Belgium. So let's get him the job here. Sounds like a real great idea. They've nearly just scored at the end, Portugal. Which, to be fair, would have been incredible. Considering how shit they've been, that would have been absolutely stunning. Cross came in. Hard header. Hard header for Martinez, that. Sorry, Bernardo Silva. I mean, he's only as big as Bilbo Baggins, and he's never going to be able to get on top of that. The thing I love about Roberto Martinez as well, even though his team's been absolutely shit, the camera goes to him and he's got that face of what's going on. I thought we did okay. He managed Belgium for 6 fucking years. 6 years he had the Belgium job. I mean, he literally fucked up Belgium in their best 6 years, didn't he? Was it a tournament too far for Ronaldo? Well, what I would say is that Ramos scored a goal, a very good goal to get them here. For him not to get a minute is pitiful, Now, you could go 2 up front, or you could take Ronaldo off. But riddle me that, right? How on earth does a striker that scores an amazing header to get you to the World Cup against Spain? Sorry, how on earth does Ramos, who scored an amazing goal against Croatia to get you into this tie with Spain, not get a minute when you need a goal? How does that happen? It's shockingly shit, really. But that's Roberto Martinez for you, isn't he? A weak coach with weak tactics. He can't get the best out of Bruno. He can't get the best out of Vitinha. He can't get the best out of João Neves. I mean, I'm sure the Ivory Coast manager and the Japanese manager, I bet they're all sat there on their holidays now going, I wish I fucking had what he had. What an idiot. Bruno's cross is good, and it goes wide. And that's the final whistle. Portugal are out. Moreno saved us from extra time. I don't know that Ronaldo's even going to cry, to be honest. I should cry about my bet builder, by the way. Thanks to Ball Sports. Over 18, UK and Ireland only. Please be gamble aware. But my bet builder was shit. Absolutely rubbish. I didn't get anywhere near it. What did I say? Both teams to score. Portugal to win. Ronaldo to score at any time. Forget about it. But for the tournament, it's better that Spain go through. I do think that, like, when you look at the stats of the game, in fairness to Portugal, in fairness to Spain, they had more shots, 15, 6 on target to Spain's 2, 7 corners to 3. They were the more attacking team, and I do wonder if Spain played France or USA, I think it'd be a much more open game. I think sometimes you're in a situation where you play a team that plays so negatively like Portugal did, it can be problematic for how you want to play. So I'd give Spain, the benefit of the doubt because they were up against part the bus shitty tactics from Portugal. But they've got to do better than that. They've got to do better than that. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only 100 away from 496,000. So please click and subscribe. Thank you, everybody who's been tuning in. Obviously, I'm just looking at the cameras here to see. That's Ronaldo's last World Cup game. Obviously, the cameras will be on him. Look, Ronaldo does need to retire. He, you know, people were talking about, could he do another World Cup? He could barely do this one. I think he admitted it himself. So Ronaldo does need to retire. And for Portugal, they need to sack Martinez and move on from Ronaldo, don't they? It's a new dawn for Portugal, but they must sack Roberto Martinez. I don't know whether they will do that, but they must sack him because the guy is fucking useless. I think that, you know, Brazil are the most high-profile flops of this tournament, but Portugal have got to be the most underutilised team. When you look at that squad, and look, you look at the players that they didn't use. I mean, let me just go. I mean, how do you drop the ball with this, right? You got Mendes, Costa, Diaz, Vega, Cancelo, Neves, Vitinha, João Felix, Bruno Fernandes, Neto, Ronaldo as your starting players. And then you've got the likes of Ruben Neves, Leao, Nunes, Bernardo Silva, Ramos, Costa, Trincao, Araujo, Inacho, Guedes, Conceição, Rui Silva. That's so much talent. And they played absolutely shit across the whole tournament. Yeah. Yeah, incredible. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in. Enjoyed that. I am back with you at 1 a.m. for USA against Belgium. Controversial game. I think there's a lot more people supporting Belgium than maybe there was 24 hours ago. But I'm USA. I want USA to win. I think Pochettino's done a good job. I think they play good football. Leave the politics out of it, certainly. But looking forward to that. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way. I think we are very close to 496,000 on the road to 1.5 million. Massive shout out for Moreno saving us from extra time. Ronaldo is starting to cry now. It is sad. But what a career. What a career. And it is the end of an era. It is a sad ending. I like Ronaldo. I don't think he's the reason Portugal was shit. I think the reason Portugal was shit is because the coach is shit. You know, Ronaldo didn't do very well, but neither did Bruno. Neither did Vitinha. Neither did João Neves. I mean, these are top players. So, there we go. Take care, everyone. I will speak to you at 1 a.m. if you're staying up for USA-Belgium. If not, I will see you tomorrow. We've got Argentina and Egypt at 5, and we've got Colombia and Switzerland at 9. And hopefully we won't see a shit game like that again this World Cup. We need to get rid of all the shit deadbeat teams, don't we? We need to get rid of all the part the bus teams. Norway, England won't part the bus. France, Morocco won't part the bus. USA won't part the bus. Need to get rid of all these shit part the bus teams. Speak to you in a bit. Take care. I'm still here. On the wrong page. I mean, Bruno, we barely knew you in this tournament. He's upset. I mean, I just didn't recognise Bruno in that tournament. I really didn't.